Hello and welcome to today's lecture. Last time we have seen some examples on C13 NMR. Today also we will see combined examples. Some examples are based on CMR, but in some examples proton NMR data is also given. So first example is assign the chemical shift. A structure is given, CMR data is given, and then you are supposed to assign the values to these carbons in this case. So I will use red pen for this purpose, so that I can mark them with red pen. 195 is this carbonyl, 195, the keto carbonyl. This is amide carbonyl, so 170. Now this is simple singlet, that means they are quaternary carbon. Then 98 is another singlet. 98 can be assigned to this carbon because it has got two oxygens directly attached to it, and CH2O is there and CHO is also there. So lot of things are there. 75 doublet, 51 doublet. So 51 doublet can be assigned to this, or 34, not 51, this is 34. This H I am drawing, so that that means it is doublet. 75 is this one, this is 75 doublet. 34, this is 51 doublet. Yeah, this 34 is also assigned. Now the triplets. Triplet 31.7 is this one, CH2N. Then 26.5 is next, 24.4 is this one, 21.2 is this one. I will just put the value inside, and 15.5 quartet is this one. Beside this, there are two quartet at 52 and 56 respectively. So this is 52, this is 56. These are quartets, that means they are methyl groups. So all proton like all carbons are assigned. So that is the first question, assign the chemical shift for the carbons. So that is the question, and you are supposed to put these values, and why this chemical shift is there, that also you are supposed to explain. Only putting the figures will not help you. Okay. Now the second example, C15H14O. So C15H14O, or this is sixth example. Anyway, we will do this and then we will go on the other side. C15H32, I will just put it here, C15H32 minus C15H14, 18 hydrogens are missing, so 9 sites of unsaturation. Okay. If you look at the proton NMR, this looks like aromatic methyl, this looks like paradise substituted rings, one oxygen is also there. So if I consider two rings in this way, nine sides of unsaturation. Okay. So 6, 6, 12, 13, 14 and 15. 15 carbons, 14 hydrogens, 3, 3, 6, 6 and 8, 14 and oxygen is there. 9 sites of unsaturation, 4, 4, 1. So this is the structure. 7.2 doublet is this proton, 7.7 is this, which is alpha to ortho to carbonyl. That is how it is there. 190 stands for ketocarbonyl. 141 is this carbon or this carbon, they are equivalent. 136 this carbon, and 129, 130. It is difficult because they are almost same. So that is there. So that is the structure of the molecule, wherein we are explaining 9 sites of unsaturation in this molecule. We don't have any additional data like carbonyl. IR is also not given, but NMR, CMR is at our help. Okay. Now the next example, C3H7NO. So C3H7NO, if I write NO means CH, we have to oxygen we are neglecting anyway. C4H10 minus C4H8, 2 hydrogens are missing, 1 site of unsaturation, that is there. Okay. Now the data, 2.8 3 proton singlet, that is methyl, 2.6 singlet 3 protons. So 2 methyls are there and 1 proton is giving singlet, probably the NH proton or OH proton. So if I do it this way, NH we need to have. So with 3 carbon this structure is possible. N methyl will be 2.6 because this is 2.6, this is 2.8, this is 2.8 because nitrogen lone pair is delocalized here, and this can fill the electron crunch, electron deficiency in other words. So this is 2.6, 2.8, this is 2.6 and NH proton is 7.8. it can appear anywhere because that is exchangeable proton. So this is the structure of the molecule with C3H7NO. This is a simple proton NMR, but you have to explain the site of unsaturation for that compound also. Okay. Now one example is given. Of course these questions are all from earlier question papers. So yeah. Mass data is given. Mass we have not done, so I will not talk much about mass spectrometry here. I will just tell what are the things given over here. This looks like carbonyl, this looks like C double bond C, that much we can say. Singlet, this is CH3 may be attached to aromatic ring. Doublet 2 proton, this means it is a para disubstituted ring. Okay. 26 quartet is once again CH3 attached to AR. Doublet strong, this also suggests para disubstituted ring. These are quaternary carbons. This is definitely the carbonyl group. Okay. Now if you look at the depth 1 and depth 2 values, 26, 128, 129, they can be either methyl or CH or CH3. These are all quaternary carbons. These are definitely CH of aromatic ring because they are appearing at 128, 129, and mass I will just tell in brief. 3:1 ratio for M plus and M plus plus 2. This means chloride is there. So this compound contains chlorine So in case of chlorine, two isotopes are there. Chlorine 35 is 3, chlorine 37 is 1, and that's why average weight of Cl is taken as 35.5. Now if I put the things together for that mass, the structure comes out to be this one, where ketone is explained and halogen is also explained. So C8H7OCl. So the summation comes out to be 156 or 154 depending upon the atomic mass of chlorine. That is the structure of the molecule which is given in that example. Okay. C9H11NO2. C9H11NO2. I will just find out the sites of unsaturation in the first thing. C9H11 and CH for nitrogen, we are neglecting oxygen. C10H12, C10H22 minus C10H12, 5 sites of unsaturation. So you can think of aromatic ring also. This suggests that it is a Paradise substituted ring. This is probably NH2 or OH because it is exchangeable. Quartet, and this means it is CH3 attached to CH2 attached to O attached to CO, something like this, because this 4.3 can be explained with this. If this reverse conjugation will force it to 4.3, and this is also filling some electron deficiency. So that kind of grouping is there, and for 9 carbons in addition to ring, these 3 carbons can make the I will just draw the carbonyl first, then O, CH2 and CH3 is there, and here you got to have NH2 because we have already utilized both the oxygens. So there is no other way that we can have exchangeable protons without NH2 group. So NH2 group, these are the 2 exchangeable protons. 7.6 these protons, 7.8 for these protons, coupling constant 8 Hertz, orthocoupled protons, quartet for this, triplet for this, and yeah, that's all. So this is the overall structure. These examples are from some NET question papers also, some questions are from. So our objective is to have variety of examples, so that in exam you should not have any problem in solving any numerical, whether it is online exam or offline exam, that we are not thinking at this moment. Okay. Coming to the next example, C10H10OCl Br. So C10H12, because we are substituting H for each halogen. So effective molecular formula is C10H12, and the parent hydrocarbon is H22. So if I substitute 10 hydrogens are missing, so 5 sites of unsaturation. So ClBr, the halogens are there. Paradise substituted. Triplet 2 proton, triplet 2 proton, pentate 2 proton. That means it is a link of this type, wherein your central will be pentate this will be triplet, this will be triplet. So that is the pattern which is given over here, and 3.65 certainly suggests that there is chlorine attached to it. Now we have to look at CMR before putting the final structure. So from CMR, the plain CMR is given. Only one hint is there. They suggest that it is a carbonyl, and remaining things like 3, 3, 6, 8 are seen. So probably 2 carbons are equivalent. A set is there, so that's why it is not coming as a whole. I will just put this structure, then I will explain what is the meaning. CH2 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 Cl. So this is 3.65, this is 3.18, like not 3.18, this is 3.18, this is 2.25, the pentate one, and then these two are the aromatic protons, 7.6, 7.84, both are slightly deshielded. Carbonyl is powerful electron withdrawing group than Br, so these protons are deshielded more, and in CMR, CH2Cl is 45, this is 36, the central is 28, this is 197, this is 137, 133, and then 130 and 128. So probably this is 128, this is 130. Two sets are there. That's why in CMR, instead of 10 carbons, 8 carbons are appearing. CLBr, they are the two functional groups besides carbonyl. Carbonyl we can predict from the CMR, otherwise from PMR it is difficult to find out whether carbonyl group is there or not. In some cases they give the IR data, which is very handy. In this case IR is not given because these examples are from NET question papers, so obviously they expect few things from students, and that's why some hints are there. Instead of giving the direct data, they are giving this kind of thing. Even this question is also from NET question paper. C8H16O2. If this compound is A, let me put A over here. This is A. If it is treated with Grignard, methyl magnesium chloride, you get B or C, and then A with LH also gives C, and B gives olefin after acid treatment. So A can be. So 4 options are there. So you have to find out whether what is A. Now this PMR is very important. 12 hydrogens are singlet, that means all 4 methyls should be chemically equivalent, then only we can expect this kind of picture. So let me put the structure. So assuming that this is A is this one, and now we are adding say methyl magnesium chloride. So this is minus plus. So if we add it here, 1 mole can give you cation. Okay. Second mole can be added. You can get OH, 2 methyls. Okay. So this is B, and then the loss of proton, like this will undergo protonation, then conjugate base will abstract this. So, ultimately what we have this olefin which has got 4 methyls, 12 hydrogens which are chemically equivalent. Methyl attached to double bond 1.6 is fine, and that is why we can give this ester. We know that Grignard can be added to ester, and in situ you get keton which is also labile, and the next mole will be added to it and you get the alcohol which can be protonated, and you can effect the elimination reaction to get the alkene which is tetra substituted. And now out of these two groups the better leaving group should depart. Tertiary butyl, probably tertiary butyl alcohol is easy to go, so that is why I am putting this as the option. So, that is the structure. Next lecture, couple of lectures we will spend on CMR, and then we have to start with the mass spectrometry, because that will be the last chapter, and once we are done with it we will start with the paper solving. And for MSc we do not know when the exams will take place, but as far as portion is concerned, we will have to do some more examples of CMR, I think, and then we can move to the mass spectrometry, and then collective the combined examples of all these spectroscopy. So, more practice is always better for spectroscopy, and we will be doing that. I request all of you to go through all these lectures, post your queries. I will be happy to answer all your queries. Okay. Thank you very much.